welcome. Anthony Hudson with you. Today's match, North Adelaide and South Adelaide. Today, we are at the Adelaide Oval. Prime weather here for finals football. Collaborating with me in the commentary booth is Gary Lyon. Welcome, Gaz.
Hey, hello.
Gaz, can you tell us what's going through the players' minds? What are they thinking now, so close to the opening bounce?
The players will be thinking about that first contest and doing everything they can to win it.
They run on in full confidence, they're looking sharp, and the crowd are appreciating it.
Well, we could be in for a scrappy game here. Both sides have been pretty good defensively of late. It's which defensive method stacks up better.
They run on in full confidence, they're looking sharp, and the crowd are appreciating it. It's every player's dream to play in a grand final, and one team will reap the ultimate reward of a premiership. What a day we have to come. Make their way to the middle for the toss. North Adelaide wins the toss. Fans at both sides are waiting this one. The grand final has begun. And here we go. It's North Adelaide taking on South Adelaide. He can take off after that handball. The mark has been taken. Going for goal number one. Ready to bring it back into play. Releases by hand. Unbelievable effort, and it ends with a goal. They get around him after that effort. North Adelaide draw first blood. Thumped by Hardwick, drives it out of the pack. Stands tall and marks. Johnson moves it now. Marked by Hunter. Puts it into space. Wins the race to the ball. He might kick a goal. Cornick has missed the lot. The ball goes out of bounds on the full. Johnson drives the kick. He takes the shot. South Adelaide now only trail by 6. The ball finds Hunter. Hurry kick. Steady hands there as he holds that one. Keeps it moving. Goes short with the kick. They chase after the loose ball. Well picked up. Just gets it onto the boot. A mark by Hutch. Now with a low spearing kick. Stuck the bits out there and held onto it. Puts boot to ball. Takes that one strongly. North Adelaide have kicked the last 2 goals. Great start by North Adelaide. A bit too hard with a push, and it's a free kick. Puts it on the boot. Takes the mark, doesn't waste any time. Receives the handball and takes off. Going for goal number one. He's really turning it on now. Celebrating hard. North Adelaide with a dream start. We're back in motion. Hardry got a fist to it. The bounce made it tough. Holding the ball. Didn't get away from that tackle.
Great attack on the ball carrier.
Ball hits the deck. Dug it out. Great mark in the pack. Great tackle. Mitchell sticks the tackle.
Coaches love to see that kind of tackling pressure.
Wants to keep moving. Ends up marking uncontested. Finds his man. He's got the football now. He has the ball. Has a runner alongside him. Handballs to a teammate on the run. Drops the ball. He gives away a free for in the back. Going for goal number one. Johnson moves it by hand. Slams it onto the boot. And the mark will be paid. Dow puts it on the boot. McPherson presents and takes the mark. Quickly onto the boot. Doesn't take the mark. Avoids the tackle. Johnson dug out the loose ball. Strong with the body and wins the mark. Goes with the kick. Manford will be upset with that. Found a way through. Takes it out of there. A chance to reload the attack now. Puts it into the 50. The umpire plays deliberate. Interesting call. Drives it out of defensive 50. Cleanly picked up. McPherson likes his chances. North Adelaide lead is now 19. Over the top of the pack. 40 metres from home. He goes for a break. The loose ball picked up. Umpire calls for a throw-in. What can you tell us, Gaz?
It's a really good contest out there right now, and it's great to watch.
A strong mark on the kick from Chera. The ball goes to Brown. He's got the footy in his hands. Has it now. We'll get a ball up on the wing. Swanson. Smith, a bit too casual with the tackle. Well taken at ground level. Has to do better than that in the mark contest. Looks up with the kick. Easily takes the mark. Wants to move it quickly. Corner gives it to the player running past. Collects the loose ball. They can create from this. That's an easy decision for the umpire. Decides to go. Can he put it through? Look at him. He really enjoyed that run. South Adelaide get it back under 3 goals. The game is back underway. Clears the contest. Slams it on the boot. A strong back mark at full stride. Receives the handball. The tackle slipped high and results in a free. Goal scoring opportunity for Bedford. Big kick required from this distance. He takes aim on its way. Brilliant stuff. And he puts it through. That's his first. They stretch their lead with that effort. Get some reward for his efforts.
They're looking more dangerous inside 50 now. Great reward for effort. That came off the back of some good work further up the ground.
We're back in the middle now. Hammers it, takes possession, manages to get it under the boot. Handballs. He can take off after that handball. Poe with the ball. As full stride receives the handball. Hogan's a free kick. Keeps the kick low. Finds a target. Dishes it off to a player on the run. Is in his possession. Going for goal number one. How did he do that? Going for goal number one. What a kick, and he puts it through. And that puts them further in front. Look at them celebrate that effort.
He knew that was home as soon as it left the boot. It hasn't always been clean, but they've got the goal.
Centre bounce. Thumps it clear. Found time to get it on the boot. Marks now and conceded back. Looks to move it by foot. Plenty to analyse from that first quarter, Gas.
This is shaping up to be a memorable grand final.
Well, what an opening turn, and both sides might want to work on their defence. A really high-scoring first quarter. Let's analyse the stats.
The Roosters have taken control of the outside game. They've been able to find more space in the opposition, and it's paying off.
Thanks for that. Back to grand final action now. Back in the middle now. North Adelaide come away with it. A clean collect. Might be a bit of an injury for Pope. That doesn't look great. Looks unlikely he will see any further action.
Yes, Shadow.
Gathers it now. Quick hands. Will they put you away here? Clean pick up. Just releases the ball. What a brilliant tackle.
Showing some really good pressure there.
Converting these opportunities could make a big difference to today's result. 25 metres out. Going for goal number one. He blasts it through. This one gives them a bigger lead. Congratulated by his teammates. North Adelaide by 31. Back in the middle to resume play. Punched away. Scoops up the ball. Gets a quick kick away. Just put his hands in the back of the opponent, and it's a free. Good opportunity for South Adelaide to put a goal through here. A must-kick goal here. Touch through.
North Adelaide have actually turned it over more than the opposition, but they haven't allowed that to translate into scores. That's why they're still in front.
Elects to kick. He gives chase to the footy. McPherson has an injury. It's difficult to see him coming back on after that. Moves the ball by foot. Bedford has it. Goes by foot. Dawn takes it over. Missed the target. The loose ball scooped up. Had the pressure going down. The kick releases the pressure. A good job keeping it in play there. He's put it out on the full. A chance here to convert for the Roosters. Uses it now. What a spectacular mark. Lining up for goal. Going for goal number one. It's going to be close. He's enjoying that goal. exert some dominance now. They lead 44-8. Hardwick just swats it away. Didn't fumble. He goes it alone. Started the kick line, and it never came back. Can't make the most of that chance. Margin in a really tricky situation.
North Adelaide could turn the ball over a lot trying to play aggressively. It's where they turn it over. This doesn't make it as dangerous.
Has a man running for him. Kicks hurriedly. He takes the mark. Penetrating handball. He drives it. Good mark there. Movement by hand. Mops up the loose ball. What are your thoughts at the moment, Gaz?
I'd love for the coach to send a message out there and tell these players to take the game on. North Adelaide ruck work needs to be a bit better. Too many of their hit-outs are getting sharked by the opposition.
He gets his hands on the footy, spears the ball, gets into some space to mark this. A chance to put a second goal on the board. Lose it quickly. Oh, what a goal! He's excited about that one. North Adelaide have hit the last 5 goals. Now they lead by 41. Thump clear. He gains possession, brings it out of the pack. Hunter couldn't snaffle it. The fans hoping this one goes through to give them a glimmer of hope. South Adelaide still hopeful of reducing this margin. Hunter takes the mark, just put it on the boot. A chance to gather the ball, rushes with the kick. Nice mark under pressure. He flicks it over with the ball now. Goes by hand. Dow elects to kick. The ball knocked up. He heads for home. That kick hits the post. North Adelaide lead by 41. Looking to bring it back into play. Gets the loose ball. He slots this one. A big goal there. A second goal in the bag. Bedford increases the lead. His teammates rush over. Thrashes it. Finds the loose ball. Ball up in the centre square. Punches it clear. Bounce, works for Door. Chips it towards half forward. The contest, no match for him.
Of course, Hunter.
Advances now. Quick hands, and they could be away here. He's on fire at the moment, Gaz.
He's everywhere at the moment.
He just throws that ball. The kick from Mitchell. Doing well to intercept that kick. 45 metres out. Going for goal number 1. What a lovely goal from there. The pressure continues to mount with that goal from Dow. He celebrates hard after that. About to resume hostilities. Smith thumped it clear. He wins possession. Had plenty of the ball while someone's on the ground. Gaz, what did you see there?
Well, the doctor will have to take a look at that one. It does look serious.
Fantastic chase and tackle.
Beautiful tackle, Hutto.
Sinks the slipper into it. Simply outplaying his opponent. The tackle deserves a free and gets it.
Big tackle.
A good mark under the circumstances. Uses a shorthand. They really need a goal on the board now. Smiles all round. South Adelaide trying to get it back to a manageable score. The umpire set to bounce to restart the game. Dishes it off to a player on the run. The umpire calls for a stoppage.
It's just a bit lacklustre out there for my liking.
Has it now. Clears the congestion. Takes a strong mark. A low stabbing kick. Takes a simple grab. close the gap to 46. Kirby considering the options on the kicking. Only seconds remaining in this quarter. Uses it by foot. Sherrick gathers it now, hacking it out of there. He wins the ball in the air. 25 metres out. That was sweet. They put through another. He acknowledges the crowd. They need to continue. Half-time arrives, Gary. What are your thoughts on the first half?
This is a great grand final.
Time to see if there's anything interesting in the stats.
North Adelaide are taking plenty of marks right now. They're controlling the pace of the game better than the opposition.
Thanks, Gary. With a half left to play in this grand final, let's hope we see a renewed effort after the break. The crowd's anxious. Let's get into the second half. We resume hostilities. North Adelaide have possession. Ball up in the centre square. What can you tell us at this stage, Gary?
I'd really love it if these teams took the contest to the next level. North Adelaide needs to do a better job and gain more clearances at the moment. They're getting deep in the contest and it's affecting the scoreboard.
With quick hands. The Panthers behind by 39. Kirby to bring it back into play. Gets into a good position to take that.
North Adelaide have got on top of the marks. They've been able to control the ball in the air. It sees them in this position.
A great mark taken there. Decides to play on. They can link up now. Handball finds Mitchell. I haven't seen him for a while, Gaz.
Yeah, he's barely touched the ball.
Goes inside forward 50. Flew high, but didn't hold on. That's touched and just behind. Considering the options on the kick-in. Ends up turning this ball over. This will certainly test him from this distance. He slams it towards goal. The drop punt goes straight between the big sticks. He loved that one. The lead is now 46.
This is how they can score big, Hutto. If they can do that on a consistent basis, it's massive. It's great to watch, Hutto. Plenty of excitement.
Umpire ready to resume play. North Adelaide with the clearance. Mitchell coming on. Ball up in the centre square.
It's just smashing out there at the moment, and it could get worse.
Dishes it off. The handball hits the target. They out the loose ball. Kirby gets onto the ground. Punched away. There's someone on the ground. I think it's Mitchell. That doesn't look good. I don't think he'll be coming back.
The Roosters haven't been able to set up any set shots at goal, but I'm not sure that it's the forward's fault. The ball has been coming in way too slow. You can't expect your forward to kick a winning total that way.
Gets a touch to the ball. Picks up the loose ball. That's holding the ball. Didn't get away from the tackle.
Great tackling there, Hutto.
Got boot to ball. Looks like the ball will be coming back. Linking by hand. Hardly gives away a free for in the back. Chose to kick it. Kirby was surrounded. He needed to mark it. And he did. Lobs the handball. What a big grab. He thrills the crowd here.
Oh, that's a big grab.
Pokes it short in the back pocket. The umpire pings him here. This is kickable by his standards. Normally a good shot on goal. Setting up for the check side. well at the moment. Teammates break for him. Moves it by foot. Finds the loose ball. Oh, shit, it's out of the ball. Decides to kick. It's a turnover. Scoops it up. Much might give a goal. North Adelaide by 8 goals. Looking for options now. Does well to cut off the kick. Gets the handball away. Hacks it on the boot.
The sting's been taken out of this game.
Punches it clear. He's got the football now. With a driving kick. Uses it now. The umpire will ping in for deliberate. Moves the ball along the wing. Good mark on the run. He gains possession. God, what a tackle!
Constant pressure and rewarded.
Puts it on the boot. They can create from this. Puts the handball out in front. Kicks hurriedly. He gets above the crowd. Chooses to play on. He lays off the pass. Cuts the kick inboard. A strong back mark. Wants to keep it moving. Oh, grabbed it clean. Looks like it's going to be paid deliberate. Works the ball up the ground. Intercepts the ball well. 50 metres out. Lining up on a bit of an angle here is Chera. He likes his chances from here. Ball's Mills. I haven't seen it for a while, Gaz.
He's barely touched the ball though.
The ball is coming back into play. Thump clear. Wins the race to the ball. Easily takes the ball. 15 metres out. It looked impossible, but he made it work. Gets his steps. They will continue to keep pushing to get back in this game now. His teammates rush over. Thrashes it. He's in charge of the red box.
He's having a fantastic game.
Collects. Pushes through with power. Tackle. Ends up in a tackle.
Great tackling technique.
I haven't seen it for a while, Gaz.
Yeah, he's having a real quiet match.
The tackle deserves the free and gets it.
Great tackle.
Puts boot to ball. Just gave it away. Ball gets cut off. Punches the kick. Finds a target. Almost cut it off. Collected by Hope. Just gets the kick away. Much going for number one. It's over. North Adelaide. Over South Adelaide. By 43. Marks that ball uncontested. Takes possession. Is in his possession. Getting it away with Smith.
They just need to find a way to work back into the game.
Swats it with the ball now. Just gets it under the boot. Well marked. Chose to kick it. Takes it well. Gaz, what do you think about that?
South Adelaide are going to need to find something to get them back into this match.
What can you tell us from the stats, Gaz?
North Adelaide are controlling the possession and they're using that control to hit the scoreboard.
Cheers, Gaz. All is on the line in the final turn. About to resume play. Hammers it. He gets his hands on the footy. And the mark will be paid. Goes for territory. He takes the mark. That's holding the ball.
Outstanding pressure.
Slams it on the boot. Picked off the deck. Just put it on the boot. Just landed in his back. Smith uses it by foot. Much leaps over the top. Wins possession. Auckland got the handle on it. What a fantastic goal. Congratulated by his teammates. This margin is becoming a bit of a task to peg back now. Hardwick thumps it clear. Sweeping handball. Sherratt knows they desperately need this one. Can he deliver? Margin in a really tricky situation.
North Adelaide have actually turned it over more than the opposition, but they haven't allowed that to translate into scores. That's why they're still in front.
Kirby takes the mark. Wants to play on. He drives it down. South Adelaide reduce the margin. Takes a simple grab. Did well to get a hand in.
There's not much going on out there at the moment.
Ball back into play. Smith with the hit. Picks up the loose ball. Spent that one before he earned it. Handball's out in front. Walks with it over the line. Plenty of time to peg this margin back. Kirby to bring it in. Great grab.
If they just maintain possession and hold on to the ball for a moment, they should be able to hold on here.
Down, wins the ball in the air. Got good to ball. It's a foot race to get this one. Uses the hands instead of the body, and it's a free kick. Elects to kick. Takes that one strongly. Slick with the hands. Hacking it out of there. McPherson couldn't keep his hands on it. We haven't seen it for a while, Gaz.
Well, he hasn't had the impact we were expecting.
Gone! What a tackle!
A great defensive effort.
Winning the ball in the air was Orr. Decides to kick. Good mark and looks to send it back. Got the hands free. Gathers it now. Hardwick slams it onto the boot. Couldn't take it. I haven't seen him for a while, Gaz.
He needs to find a way into this game.
What a brilliant tackle!
Brilliant chase.
Manford leading the race to the loose ball. McPherson goes it alone. Just leaves him in his blood. Great goal. Look at him. He really enjoyed that one. North Adelaide doing well at the moment.
That's a really good team goal. He did really well there and gets the reward.
Back with another centre bounce. Clears the contest. Gets it away under pressure. Handball's out into space. He's got the footy in his hands. The ball mopped up. Gets it away. Holding the ball.
Fantastic tackle.
Six to slipper into it. He's really making an impact in this game, Gaz.
He's really having a big impact on this game.
Gets the loose ball. Smith finds possession. Ball collected. Dug out the loose ball. Manufactures the handball. Intercepted. Just handballs into space. Hurry kick. Sherratt with a chance to line things up. It's a throw. South Adelaide now only trail by 51. Good mark there.
North Adelaide are getting plenty of marks with loose players. They're really able to control the game and move at their own pace.
Goes with the kick. Pretty happy with that one. South Adelaide still a fair way back here. Thumps it clear. He has the ball. Fantastic chase and tackle.
Fantastic pressure there.
The mark has been taken. Loose with hands. Intercepted by Hardwick. Looks like the ball will be coming back. Mitchell kicks it. Mitchell takes a strong mark.
Well, when you look at the shots at goal, there just hasn't been enough scoring opportunities being created. Get the ball inside 50 and give your forwards a chance to take the mark. North Adelaide forwards are dangerous anywhere inside 50. They just need to be given a shot.
Ends up turning this ball over. Goes by foot. Steady hands there as he holds that one. He decides to go for Harden. Unbelievable. And they put it through. Gets some reward for his efforts. 51 points the difference. Back in the middle as the Rucks go at it. Swats it. Finding the loose ball was Hope. Fantastic chase and tackle. Dow creates all sorts of problems for his opponent.
Shows some really good pressure there.
He gives it away. Straight through the middle. That's number 3. He's excited about that one. North Adelaide really starting to dominate. Thrashes it. Takes possession. Nice hands. Got the hands free. Well collected. It'll be a ball up, right near the boundary line.
Right now, I'm only seeing one team really putting their all into this contest.
Winning it was fifth. The loose ball picked up. Has it now. With a driving kick. Did well to control the ball. Slams it under the boot. Marks now and can send it back. Moves it by foot. Over the top of the pack. Releases by hand. He has the ball. Opportunity once again for North Adelaide to put one through. Going for goal number 2. Looks like coming off the boot. That's something to slide about. This kick stretches the lead. And North Adelaide got one, and now they can celebrate. What a story, what an incredible victory, and now they are premiers.
Oh, I bet the team song has never sounded so sweet.
Well, you hope for a grand final with some decent contest. Today's match was really a one-sided affair. Gary, what do you make of the result?
South Adelaide were just really poor today.
They are really lapping it up now, and why wouldn't you? They've won the premiership.
They should really spend some time lapping this up. They deserve it.
This is the moment when the players really get to revel in the glory of a grand final victory. What a sight!
This is what footy is all about. Absolute ecstasy for the players.
Thanks for joining us, Gaz, but that's all we have time for.
Thanks, Arno. I've enjoyed every minute of it.